My name is Maureen Sawicki. Our family came to Trinity about over 25 years ago. Our family is myself, my husband, and our two sons, who are now adults. Having empathy for young people today, to me, is exactly what's needed. Youth have so much more on their plates than we ever used to have on our plates. Whether you were born at the same time as me, or after me, or before me, everything has changed. We know how fast life moves now. We know how shallow things can be in so many ways. We know how much confrontation there is in conversations and opinions. They have everything we had to deal with, plus so much more. Just getting to know a youth and seeing what is on that youth's plate will give you empathy. When COVID started, one of the conversations that youth had with us was that they had no idea just how many things they were scheduled for in a week until they weren't. That their lives were so busy and so crazy, and then all of a sudden, of course, 2 Marches ago, everything stopped. And after the shock wore off, their response was, I will never be doing that many things again in my life. My very first mentoring relationship, which sort of still continues today, he's in his late 30s. He was a kid who needed a mother. And often that is, I'm the aunt or the mother. I'm quickly turning into the grandmother role, and that's cool because everybody needs a grandmother. It took a year and a half of him phoning me, and if he didn't have a crisis going on in his life, which was fairly often, he would invent a mini crisis that was so empty when he phoned me. It was laughable, honestly. And it took a year and a half of me saying, Glenn, we're friends. Just phone me for nothing, and making sure that I phoned him. For me, being a mentor, really it's just deciding that you're going to spend enough time with someone and listen to them enough that you start to love them. Because honestly, if you spend enough time with a person and you listen to them enough, you can't help but love them. I think that's how we were created, honestly. When I meet these kids, I start praying for them immediately. I continue to pray for them. I ask that, God can give me the wisdom to say the right words, that there'll be more God there than Maureen there, and that I'll put myself to the side and be able to listen and be that person that God wants me to be in their life right now. And it's not, coming down to their level, which I got to say gets under my skin, because honestly, my levels on any given day are all over the place. But yeah, the reality is we're all flawed, and being able to be a person in their life who can kind of see the trees in the forest and be able to get them past the first tree and then the second tree, and then they've already figured it out because they're kids. One of the brilliant things about Jesus when he was ministering to people is that he could get away with things that other people couldn't get away with saying. But what I find is that I can do the same thing, and I can get away with things that parents can't do. We get to speak a different way into people's lives. There's no one in this church who can't be walking alongside someone of a completely different age group. Either you have wisdom to impart, or you'd like to know what their life is like. If you're thinking about mentoring someone, and I certainly hope you are, of any age group, I would just encourage you to take the first step, because honestly, it's like meeting a new friend. That's all. The onus isn't on you to fix anybody's life. It's to walk with them and love them. If you're an older adult and you're asking a younger person, would you like to go for a coffee? I would say that 9 times out of 10, the young person is just going to be flattered. This person wants to spend time with me and take me out for a coffee, and they're, frankly, seeming more interesting to me all the time at this point, so why not? Right now, during COVID, it's actually pretty darn easy. Go for a walk. Or if the person that has a dog segment, I'd join you walking the dog sometime. When do you do that? And the truth is, you help one another every single time. I don't know of anyone who's ever experienced a mentoring relationship who hasn't said it's completely a two-way street. And I think it's great when you can describe friends who are any age. And the fact that we often don't, and we just think that friends are the people in our own age group, is unfortunate. I think that Trinity is really good at having different generations mingle. But I have to tell you that I've been so blessed with having these real, long-term mentoring relationships. I think that's Trinity's next step. We're most of the way there. We do interact. Now let's get real.